K106 the Superstation. I'm Chelsea Lee, sitting with somebody that you have been hearing on our station, Aaron Simmons. Aaron, we are here in Barrett at Roosevelt Hall, which is absolutely beautiful. I just talked to your buddy, Zach Thomas.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. And gosh, what does it mean to you to be able to perform together today?
Oh my gosh, so Zach Thomas, Brian Lowry are two of my best friends, not just in music, but just best friends in general. And we all write together, we all have songs out that other people, that we've written on those songs. And it's just so fun. We played together for so long. And to do something like this in Zach's hometown it's just so fun. It's so fun to be here.
It's like full circle moment for you guys, and that's what I love is that you very recently put out a very big song about where your roots were coming from. It was dedicated, I believe, to your grandpa, right? I just love that. Tell me about that song.
Yeah, so my parents are from Wadena, and I grew up in Stewartville, Minnesota, but I was in Wadena a lot in my life. And then I lived in Wadena one summer. Became really close with my dad's dad and my step-grandma, and they became two of my biggest fans when I was really starting to cut my teeth. And for 4 years, they were at every show that they could be. But when my grandpa passed away in the summer of 2020, I wanted to honor him in a way with a song, but I didn't want it to be some emotional grab. I wanted it to be real. I wanted it to be something that I'm really feeling. And a few months after, it was probably 6-7 months after he passed away, I popped this idea of Nobody's Home in Wadena popped into my head, and I wrote what I could, and I thought it was pretty good, but it was loose, and I sent it to my producer, and he was like, "This is great, but it needs a lot of work." And that's when I reached out to Zach, because I'd known of him through the music scene, but when everyone's busy on the weekends, it's hard to meet people because everyone else is already out. And being able for him to come over and help me get the song across the finish line into the way that it is now is just. It's so great, and it was the day we met. Was that, and now we're best friends.
It is so awesome,
Yeah.
and he was so thrilled and humbled. He's like, man, Aaron did all the heavy lifting on that song, came from his heart. He's like, I just kind of came in and kind of added a few things or whatever, but I think that's just so cool. Tell me what that process is like when you're making a song, especially one that means so much to you.
Yeah, it's every song, especially now moving forward, every song that I put out has some sort of story attached to it, because it's just part of who I am. It's part of my story. These songs are, and it's just so fun. And Zach kind of mentioned a little bit that it's a little feast or famine writer, and sometimes you get in spurts and you get on a roll, and other times you don't write for a while. But the good ones really do come quick, and the good ones right away. I have a pretty good sense of when I start writing a song, if the idea, or from the idea on the start, if we get it right, it's something that I'm going to want to put out, because it's the story. It's not necessarily the song. It's our job to have the song be great, but it's the story that's really leading everything.
And I think that is what draws so many people to country music. It really is that storytelling, and you get gravitated, you get pulled in. It's something that people can relate to, and all of a sudden they just feel like it's like coming home, kind of that feeling.
Yeah, and that's really what drew me to country music in the first place. I mean, I grew up in a small town, but I didn't grow up in the South. I didn't grow up on a dirt road. I didn't grow up with all of those traditional country things, but country music is storytelling. And I've gotten crap from my friends and family for years for how long and detailed I tell my stories, even before I was ever in music. And I have a journalism degree too.
There
All like looking back, it makes so much sense of how things have played out.
Yeah.
But I love the story aspect, and then hearing other people like Zach and Brian, who are such great storytellers when they write and when they sing. It's just such a treat to know them and to work with them and to keep doing this every day.
That is just so cool. And we'll be seeing you in just a couple weeks at the Midwest Country Music Organization. And you, my friend, are up for a couple awards that night. Man,
yeah. So last year I was up for New Artist of the Year, and I was blown away, because the Midwest is big, and there's so much talent in the Midwest. So to be nominated for that in my first year was so cool. But then this year, I had a sense that Nobody's Home in Wadena would have a chance of being nominated, because it had been received really well by the organization. The radio stations have been playing it, which is really great. But it just means a lot to me, and it seems like it's meant a lot to people, to a lot of other people. But to see my name and to see the name of the song up there for Song of the Year, it blew me away. Like, it's one of those things you couldn't really describe what it would be like until you felt it. And then the music video, I'm blessed that's nominated for Music Video of the Year. And then I'm also nominated for Male Vocalist of the Year, which I had that was so out of left field. And it's just so awesome because the nominations were originally put forth by the public. And I think that's what means the most to me is, you know, I spend so much time in the Midwest grinding it out and meet people where they are in different towns, and there were over 3,000 submissions for the awards. And so that the fact that so many people put my name in for all of these things, it means so much to me. And that, you know, radio stations are playing it, and it's meaning the world to people because I've gotten so many messages about these songs. And it's just so fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys down there. It's such a fun. There's so much talent in the Midwest, and it's so fun.
There really, really is, and it's amazing, and that's what I love about, you know, that level too. Well, even in higher up country, everybody's kind of rooting for each other. They want each other to win. They want each other to lift each other up. I just love that about that country music family. And then you also recorded. You're a Nashville recording artist as well. I know that's like top tier, man. So what did that feel like to head down to Nashville and to be able to cut an EP?
Yeah, so great to start with. And, you know, I've had so many songs through the years, and to have a collection I'm working on. I actually had a song come out yesterday called I'm On My Way, and it's the third single of a record that's coming out in June. And it's just so fun to have something tangible in the world. We all have these songs that we sit on for so long, and they're just ours for so long. And to have them out in the world, and to have people resonate with them and send you messages of what it means to you, what it means to them, it's so cool. And it's just the fact of having something tangible in the world, to be able to see whatever it is, like whatever you're working on and whatever your passion is, if you can hold something, if you can see something, if you can hear something on the radio, it's out of body. It's so cool.
Very, very powerful. I love that, and that's why I love, you know, being a morning show host too. Just be able to connect with people, and I mean, it's amazing. There's a lot of power in communication. I feel like a few years ago we started getting away from that, and it broke my heart. But I think we're coming back in full force. So I'm really excited for that, Aaron. Very excited for your journey. Who do you look up to in country music? Who do you aspire to?
Man, that is a great question. You know, I get asked that question a lot of who are some of my influences, inspirations, and I don't necessarily try to be like one person. I try to draw little things from each other or from different people. The way Garth Brooks can own a stage and play stadiums, and you feel like every person in the audience feels like they're right there, they're with them. Like, those are things that I want to be able to bring to my own craft. And then people like Brett Eldridge, who you believe every single word he says, Chris Stapleton, every single word that gets sung by those guys, you believe, you feel. And that's the kind of performances I want to give. And then, you know, there's a bunch of other artists too that I like to pull from a little bit, but really trying to be my own person, but learning and always absorbing things. Because, you know, just if you don't evolve, if you don't learn, if you don't continue to grow, you're lost. And I'm always trying to improve and get better and learn, because there's just so much talent out there.
Excited for your journey. So proud of like where you come from. I know you might have surreal moments. Like, is there ever a time where you're just like, oh my gosh, like, you know, from where you first started in music to now where you're at? And I know you want to aim high, where your head big too. But how do you emotionally kind of absorb all that?
Man, it's so cool, and it's events like this that we're doing today, these songwriter rounds. I think about the number of times I've played shows in the last 7 years where there's nobody there, or you play 8-9 songs before one person claps, and it's
tough.
Oh my God,
That's not okay.
It's so tough, and
Stupid Midwest.
But it's just one of those things that you have to go through the ups and downs of it to really confirm with yourself that this is what you want to do. Because even though those times were tough, I loved it. And to be able to get to a situation like this where people are paying to come see songs that we wrote that were once a part of us, it's so cool. And then just like Zach's doing today with his hometown show, is I did one of those back in October in Stewartville, and it was the first time I'd ever done that. And it was just the confirmation of the support that I have, and not that I need to see it, but having it tangible, like we said, being able to see it, it's just crazy. And you look back at the last 6 months, 18 months, 3 years, you see how far you've come, and then you think about what are the next 6 months, 18 months, 3 years going to look like, and it's so fun to just keep going.
I love that. Well, we are very proud to be carrying Aaron Simmons' music over the airways. This is like the grassroots of country music. This is how you evolve and going through your journey, man. Cannot wait for a great show tonight. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your gifts.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
It just hit me like a freight train rolling through the city. She ain't gonna live it down easy. High butter season's always cold. She's the kind that steals your heart and drives you blind. Drinks you deep into the night, but leading you dry, while chasing a high from way down low. She's a wildest woman, she don't like